Okay, hopefully it's already happening. I'm gonna speak on against that. Give me a second, you guys. I'm about to adjust my camera. All right, so we're live. I already got a thumbs down already. People hate. It's just, ooh, doesn't matter. I'm about to go in. So you can be mad. Whoever thumbs it down for whatever reason. Be mad, be hateful. You know, people have to express their hate. It has to be something. But the good news is we have 3 likes. So love always conquers hate. So we're going to get into it because it's already somebody trying to like fuck with the live. And excuse my language. All right, so I just want to pray over my live right now so that there's no interruptions because I was doubting for a second whether this was a message that Spirit wanted, like, if this is something that God wanted me to express or to talk about. I was questioning, like, am I even in the right to even talk about this, to even share this? I don't feel comfortable doing this, but, no. So the fact that my live was getting tampered with tells me something trying to stop it, and it's not happening. So we're about to get into this reading or this message, rather, this word, rather, and I'm going to pray over this live. So any energies tampering with the airwaves, tampering with the internet, tampering with our phones, our laptops, our computers, our televisions, wherever we're watching this from, may it be sealed and divinely protected. I loose the divine protection surrounding this entire live on my end and on those who are watching who are meant to receive this message. Anyone on here with negative intentions, anyone here, you have no business being here, and I'm commanding you to go, to get off my live right now. And I loosen energy over those to open their hearts to receive. If divine spirit, if God is calling you to hear this message, your angels, your spiritual team is divinely calling you to hear this message, and whatever within it that you are meant to hear, that you come forth, and those that are not supposed to be here that are sent to whatever reason, sent negative energy, or just here for negative intentions or reason to do bad, any wicked schemes or plans, you are commanded. You're being escorted out. You are divinely being escorted out right now. All right, so um, I'm gonna get into this message, and before I pull any cards, because I don't need the cards really, they're just a tool um, to navigate. God is pretty clear right now in the message and what I'm supposed to be sharing. So I'm just going to share the message. So if you guys are just here to see cards being pulled and shuffled and all of that, you might have to wait, or I might not even have to pull cards. So if you, um, I can't, like, I'll just say this. If you guys are new to my channel, where my channel is going is my cards, like, you guys might know me to be a card reader, but I'm a divine messenger first. God gave me the gift of we all have the gift of prophetic insight. It's just different. Have given me that the sight to see and given me prophetic dreams since I was a child. So the cards are just something that navigates and helps. It's not something that I necessarily need. So I'm a divine messenger first and foremost, whether I'm using cards, whether I'm using shells, whether I'm whatever I'm doing. Um, so divine's message to you guys is very, 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 very clear. Spirit actually gave me this title for a divine love vibes weeks ago. For some reason, I was just like, okay, I didn't see any use for it at the time, but God gave me the message, the counterfeits program being exposed and dismantled, and I saved that in a note section of my in my phone so that I could go back and use it if I need to. So um, we're going to do that. We're going to expose this because there's a lot going on. Like as I've been healing, as I've been, clearing things out, doing my shadow work, spending time with God, a lot has been revealed and a lot I'm seeing things And I feel like Spirit's like leading me to go in a different direction with my channel, and as far as my message, as far as the people I'm supposed to help and the things that I'm being guided to say. If you're just here to hear how somebody feels about you and all of that, and when are they coming back, and does he love me, and I'm not feeding into any of that stuff. Um, I'm here to I'm about my father's business. Let's put it that way. And I've always been about my father's business. I feel like it comes a time in a season for certain things, certain messages, certain callings, certain messages. Where I'm at on my journey right now is to help people that are ready. Okay, people that are ready. I'm not forcing. This is not me forcing anybody to heal or forcing anybody to wake up or do any of that. That goes against everything. Everybody is going to get to where they need to be when they're divinely meant to. This is going to resonate with people that are ready to release and cut cords with things and people that do not serve them anymore. Because let's keep it 100. If you're here watching this, you've probably been stuck in a situation, waiting for somebody to get it, waiting for somebody to love you, waiting for somebody to be this and that for you, and you're getting nothing out of it. You're getting breadcrumbs. You feel like you've wasted your time. And I will say, a lot of you, yes, you have been wasting your time. You've been putting your energy into the wrong person. And you know this deep down inside, maybe you need that clarity, or this is your confirmation. So any messages that I bring forth to you guys is not something, it should not be something you're hearing for the first time. It should be something that is a confirmation to what you already know deep down inside of you, what God has already revealed to you, your angels, whatever you want to call it, has revealed to you. Not something that somebody's telling you. You are not supposed to just get on and listen to people's readings or listen to prophetic messages and stuff like that without divine confirmation first. Because people get caught up in that. And I've said this before, when people watch readings, they sit down and they listen to it because it sounds good. And a lot of times it will resonate. And that's because it resonates with you because it's something you already know already within yourself. But if it's something you're hearing for the first time, you don't just take it because it sounds good, or because you're upset with the person at the time. You're taking, the man bashing messages or the woman bashing messages because it sounds good and it feels good to your ego at the time. When you watch anything of mine, I'm going to always tell you to make sure that God told you that, or that you got that confirmation before you even got here. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know within yourself, okay? And if it is something that you're not clear about, I advise you not to watch this. I'm not responsible for what people do with these messages as far as, oh, you said this, and oh, take it to spirit. Take it to spirit. I'm just the messenger. And I try to be very, very mindful and careful of how I word things and what I say, because I do take what I'm saying very seriously. I don't come on here just to pull cards. I'm not coming on here to charm you and enchant you to subscribe and follow me and to like. That's not what I'm here for. I've never been on here for that. That's never what Spirit called me on here to do from the very beginning. So if you're just looking forward to hear what somebody feels about you, and that's okay, like that's okay. We do readings like that. I do readings like that. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. But I'm also going to just follow what Spirit is saying. I'm not going to continue to just do readings out of repetition because that's what everybody wants to hear. I'm going to do what I'm led to do. I'm going to obey what my Creator is telling me and what the Divine Spirit is saying. So whoever has ears to hear it and whoever is meant to hear this message, you will know that it's for you and it's not for you. So we're about to dismantle and cut and release and cut cords with any false relationships, any counterfeit partnerships, um, any delusions surrounding a relationship, anything that is keeping you stuck in a relationship with someone you know is not good for you, or you feel you have any fears. We're cutting fears out of the way that tells you that you cannot leave this person. We're cutting self-esteem, that spirit is low self-esteem out of here. We're dismantling that. We're cutting cords with that tells you you're not good enough. This is as good as it gets. That deception that tells you that this is normal, that you deserve to be treated a certain way. Love is not abusive. Love is not toxic. Love is not, does not, it's not lies and deception and cheating and toxicity. That's not what love is. It's common, but it's not normal. I'll say that again. Toxicity in love relationships is common, but that doesn't mean that it's normal. That doesn't make it right just because it's a common thing. Okay? We're dismantling that. Um, Wake up out of that delusion that love is meant to be toxic. It's meant to be you fighting over a man or fighting another woman over a man or whatever, or waiting for a married man to choose you. Um, that is not, that's not divine. It's not divine at all. Man should not be putting his hands on you. A man should not be calling you bitches and hoes, and then 1 minute telling you they love you. Um, Whatever. That's not love. That is deception. That is toxic. That is abusive. That is demonic, even. A lot of them, and I'm just gonna keep it 100. A lot of these dudes that y'all dealing with, they got some stuff on them and in them. They've been had it before you even came along. That's why I be telling people to be careful who you sleep with. Be very careful who you sleep with. You don't want that stuff attached to you. And a lot of you might have some things attached to you because of this man. Um, and it's not anything that you cannot clear off of you. It's not anything that you can't cut cords with. But a lot of y'all, just saying, y'all sleeping with the enemy. Like literally, basically, that's who you're sleeping with. They're blocking you from your callings in life. They're blocking you from your relationship with your creator. That's number one. Some people, I'm not calling people out. This isn't me calling anybody out. I'm calling those spirits out. If it hurts, it hurts. And I'm saying this out of love because there's more potential to you than what you've been giving yourself credit for. A man should not be holding you back from your divine calling in life. I'll use as an example. I was with a person for 6 years, and this person was telling me not to pursue my fashion dreams, my fashion designing dreams and all of that. He called me whack. He said my style is whack. I'm not able to do it. He was just shutting my dreams down, and it was at the genesis of me getting into sketching and all of that. I was like learning how to sketch. I had this guy that I work with that was into, I think it was like animation design or something like that. He was into cartoon designs and stuff like that. So he would help me while we were at work. He would help me with my sketches. This guy that I dated, my ex, shut that dream down from the genesis. And because I was like wounded, I was broken, I had a very low self-esteem. um, Everything was about him and trying to appease him and be what he wanted me to be. The enemy used that to shut that dream down early. So a lot of you guys are dealing with people that talk down about you, call you names. A man, for one, should never call you out your name. Like, a man that loves you will never do that. Like, when I get mad at my friends and stuff, or I get mad at my loved ones, I might say something out of term, but I'll never be like, oh, well, you ugly bitch, or F you, and blah, 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 and you're this, you're that. And that's happened to me. It's not love. That wouldn't even be able to roll off your tongue with people you love. You can't do it. You can't even do it. Um, so a lot of these connections have been distractions from you aligning with your purposes, your truth, the callings, your gifts, your talents, distracting you from if you're constantly focused on a person, that's a distraction. That's not normal. You shouldn't be constantly thinking about somebody where you can't even function. You can't do anything but function on that person. And I can't even blame the people. Um, we have to take accountability for ourselves as well, and like what's going on inside of my brain, what's function, like what's going on in there that's causing me to be stuck, like what energy is operating. The energy of lust for some of you, lust of the eye, lust in the heart. um, some of you guys may be dealing with somebody that has succubus energy and incubus energy feeding off of you, or trying to feed or cause you to fantasize and think about sex 24/7. That's an succubus energy. Don't try to cut my throat chakra off. Succubus and incubus energy. Dealing with a man that has a wandering eye constantly. Like, no woman, like nobody's gonna be able. And it's, yes, borderline narcissistic. But if you're dealing with a man that cannot keep his eyes off of other women, or keep his you know what out of another woman. He's dealing with the demonic sex demon. Call it what you want. Some people don't want to believe in that, but demons are real. If you ever had a dream, a sex dream where you can't control your body, you feel like somebody's having sex with you and you wake up and you feel like it was real, most likely that was a demon. That wasn't the person. You weren't having sex with that person. That was something else. Um, if anybody that's ever experienced that, anybody that's ever had to call out to God in order to get that demon off of you while you're sleeping knows that it's real. Um, some people call it sleep paralysis. I've had that before. I've had dreams where I feel like somebody was like, messing with me in my sleep, like physically touching me in my sleep. I've had instances where I've had something sitting on me and I feel like I couldn't get up. I couldn't speak. I couldn't scream. So in my head, I was like, God help me. Jesus help me. That thing got right off of me immediately. Got off of me. As soon as I said what I said, it got off. There's a lot of people that have experienced that, and for some reason when we try to scream out, we can't say anything with our physical mouth, but like in our heart and in our mind, we ask God. A lot of people will call out to the name of Jesus. Something about the name of Jesus is powerful. It just is. It is what it is. Lifts right off of that person, like immediately, almost immediately, comes right off. Some of you guys could be dealing with somebody like that has those spirits of perversion. That's what it is, a spirit of perversion. A man should not be like just crazy like that, like cannot control their you know they can't keep it in their pants. Like something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. And some women have that. I had a friend that was close to me that was obsessed with sex. She would cry when she couldn't get it. That's not normal. That's some type of spirit. That's not normal. It's a spirit of perversion. Um so this is the reason why you guys feel sucked and dry. This is why you cannot make sense of your life. You can't make sense of yourself. You don't feel connected to yourself. You don't feel connected to anything. You feel like you cannot live or survive without this person. You have to know what's going on with them constantly, 24/7. This person is a distraction. A divine connection, that's not how divine connections operate. Divine connections are peaceful, and they're peaceful. You're at peace. If you don't have no peace in a relationship, if you got to be wondering if he's coming back, and sometimes our insecurities can play into this, and that's why spirit stresses to us to heal. That's why spirit always tells us that we need to make sure that we're right with, in a place within ourselves that's healthy enough to be in a relationship. If you're still dealing with rejection and abandonment and codependency, you're not going to be able to function in a healthy relationship. Not saying that the person will not love you, but it's going to be work that still needs to be done with the self. If you don't, if this person could be a good man or a good woman, but if you still have those self rejection issues and all of that and fears of or trust issues, you're not going to be able to trust the person. You're not going to have a peace of mind. No matter what they tell you, they could be an honest person all day, every day. The difference with a counterfeit is that the counterfeit, there's never no peace. They constantly mess up. They're never going to fix. They're never going to change. They'll change for a second, but it's not really a change. They're creating an illusion so that you can go back to them. That's all they're doing. And they're going to go right back to the same stuff. Repetitive cycles. That's how you know. The counterfeit keeps you in a cycle. That's not how the divine works. God is a God of new beginnings, renewal, rebirth. God is not a energy of repetitive cycles, of keep you in a cycle, to keep you stuck, keep you in your past. It's not of God. And when I speak of God, just as a disclaimer, when I speak of God, I'm not speaking of a religious God. I'm speaking of a God that is all that is in your own relationship with God. Religion and all of that and the church and all of that, they can't teach you how to connect with God. Religion is not of God. It even says that in the Bible, to not be like that, not to be a religious person, religious dogmatic person. That's not of God. Your relationship with God should not be put in a box. And it says, even in the Bible, it says the kingdom of God is within you. So in order to find God, you have to spend time with you. You have to go within yourself. And I'm learning this, what that really means, because I grew up in church. I grew up in that religion dogma of it's this or it's that, and um, don't talk about demons in the church, or don't talk about this. Oh, you're glorifying Satan type stuff. Oh, if you talk about this, then that means you're glorifying those things. No, we exposing it. No, we supposed to talk about that stuff. Oh, you shouldn't be talking to people that are like this. You need to focus on people that want to be saved by Jesus. And it's like, if we don't talk to the people that are dealing with depression, the people that are feeling stuck, or sex traffic, stuck in the sex industry, and they want to free themselves, they want to get out of it, or in the, dealing with the street life and they want to get out of it, you can't turn your face to those people. Those people, if they need that healing, they need that help, or they're wanting to know what their purpose and calling is, that is of God. See, the thing about the Christ consciousness, of that Christ energy, is God didn't turn his cheek to, or Jesus didn't turn his cheek to nobody. He ministered to everybody. He went in places that some people say you shouldn't even be as a quote unquote Christian. You shouldn't be going to these places. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be reading tarot cards. If God gives you the permissible will to do certain things under his name, and to shift the energy in his name, he's going to do it. So that's why I say, when I speak of God, I'm speaking of a powerful being that goes beyond religion, that goes beyond restriction. God is bigger than anything that we can imagine, and to feel God and to know God is to like spend time with self, and I'm learning that on another level. So when I speak of that, I'm not saying like, oh, but I'm here to like slay some demons. I'm for real. Like, this is what we're doing right now. If you came here to free yourself from something that doesn't serve you, and you've been asking, that's not love, boo. Not. Person that cannot control themselves, a man that's a lawless man, or woman, a person that constantly, oh, I can't help it, I just have to sleep with her. Oh, I couldn't help it. Oh, you made me mad, so I had to punch you because you made me mad. You don't deserve that. Oh, I don't know if I can commit, I'm not ready, I don't know about this. I'll get back with you. I'll hit you back. Never hear from him. Oh, how you doing? What's good with you? Or what you doing later? And because like that part, that void is there, you'll accept it. You'll take it. That's why Spirit is saying you gotta cut people off cold turkey, and it's not easy when you want somebody and when you love a person. But what makes it easier is to tell yourself, I don't deserve that. That's what makes it easier, at least to start the initial process. A person that cannot respect you doesn't deserve your time. They don't deserve your energy, and they most definitely don't deserve your body. Your body is your temple. Anybody that is unclean in spirit has no business sliding up in you. Just saying. It's just creating more cords, more attachments. If he's letting off in you, let's keep it 100. If he's letting off inside of you, you're taking in all of those little stuff he got going on inside of him. And that's why Spirit is very clear about treating your body as a sacred temple. Very, very clear about that. And in the spiritual community, it's said that be careful who you sleep with. It is what it is. Whether you say it in the Bible says to avoid adultery and sexual perversion and all of that. And then the spiritual community is saying be careful who you lay down with. Like, it is what it is. It's right there. It's mapped out for you. It's not for you. It's not good for you. Um, I say all of this so that we can not only expose the dysfunction and the trickery and the deception within these false relationships that have been planted in your life, or that your wounds, when you're wounded, you're more like open to those things, especially if you don't have clear discernment. You'll take certain things on and you kind of look at it as, this is just what I deserve, or because of what you've seen growing up, this is normal, this is what it is. And I feel so bad for our next generation because of the stuff that they've been programmed to watch on TV and what's in the music. All they're being taught is sex, money, drugs, dysfunctional relationships, cheating, nobody's loyal, these hoes ain't loyal, these men aren't loyal, oh, just buy me a Birkin bag, and pay my bills, as long as I look like a bad bitch. Like, that's what That's what our kids are like have to like model after. At least growing up in my era, we had like family dynamic shows and all of that. Sisterhood on TV. Now it's a whole bunch of backbiting, jealousy. Oh, this bitch. Oh, she thinks she all that. Oh, her lace front. Like all kind of ghetto stuff. Like how we Hollywood wives, and it's just like it's nothing is sacred. Nothing is. It's just like sick. So I pray for our kids. I really do. And that's why it's so important, and that's why a lot of people are drawn to divine unions, divine connections. You know, in the Christian community, it's called kingdom marriages, and all of that. You know, the spiritual community is soulmates, it's twin flames. But ultimately, divine connections are here because God created counterparts as helpers to one another. They all have their different roles. And to leave these inheritance of God's blessings and gifts. And we all have gifts, we all have purposes in life. We choose by our free will whether we follow with our divine purposes or whether we go along with, you know, the program of things, go along and be like everybody else and do this and do that. And your purpose and calling does not have to be you being a preacher. That's not what I'm saying. Like God's calling could be you starting a school for kids that are, you know, disabled, or something that the community needs. It could come through you. That it's anything. It could be anything, to write that book that someone might need, that's going to free a lot of people from something, or to be a psychiatrist for people, innovate something that's never been done before. Everybody has a purpose, everybody has a calling. These divine connections, the unit of two counterparts coming together, is very powerful. But we've been raped in that sense because we've been planted and given this toxic dynamic, this cult like situation with runner chaser. It's teaching you love bombing, it's teaching you gaslighting, it's teaching you a narcissist versus empath type of dynamic, it's teaching you idolatry, it's teaching you obsession. It's like it's a toxic formula. It's not good. It's not a good thing. That twin flame stuff, I feel like, is, I don't know who created it, if they had innocent intentions, or their intentions that where they were too open and they were open to something that channeled through them and gave them some bullshit, because that stuff is like toxic. Like looking at it, looking back at it, it's not healthy. It's not divinely driven. It's not like, God doesn't tell people to leave their wives for another woman, or that's not how it works. If anything, if that woman is not for their highest good, they'll leave because they're guided to leave. It's not going to be like a dramatic love triangle. It's not going to be as the world turns. Like, that's not how love is. It's not how it's supposed to work. It's not. God is not a God of pain, of putting you in positions and situations with people that are going to hurt you. That's not how it works. But we have free will. That's one thing. We have free will, and God and our angels will never intervene in our free will. They won't do that. So our free will can be like, well, I want to be with him. And God be like, okay, you got it, ma. All right, go be with him. And then you're crying. You're depressed. You're waiting on somebody to leave their wife. You're watching them on social media with somebody else, and you're crying about it. And then you get a reading to ask, how does this man feel about you? It should be evident that this man, he may have love for you, but he doesn't really respect you. He doesn't love you enough. He doesn't love you enough in the way that you deserve to be loved. Let's say that. If he cannot leave that situation, mess with my life. It's okay. We're going to get this message out. Whoever needs to hear it is going to hear it. So I could care less who gets upset about it. We're cutting some bullshit out today. It might hurt. It's going to hurt. It is going to hurt. It's funny. I'm not even connected to my Wi-Fi. I'm not going to get upset, because they mess with Alive and stuff like that. Like it be spiritual attacks all the time, and they come in the form of a lot of things. The fact that I didn't even get on here, I haven't even like got into the message wholeheartedly yet. And before I even got on this live, my live was acting up. It kept like shutting down and stuff. And I looked at my chat, and I looked at my views, and I looked at my likes and my dislikes. Why they messing with my live? Come on. Shit. Damn. Okay, are we back? Spirit, whatever this is, like block it right now. We don't have time for this. Um, okay, so we're back. We're back, we back, we back. So, thank you for the donations. I didn't even see that. See, because they mess with my life. Thank you, sis. My sis from St. Louis. Thank you, goddess. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not even worried about that. People can be mad all they want to. I'm getting this message out. I'm just saying only what's on my heart. Um, the message here for you guys is that what's meant for you is not going to treat you like dust and dirt, because that's not who you are. You are you are deserving of true love. You're deserving of that which is wholeheartedly divine, wholeheartedly sacred. And I really do believe that relationships that um are meant to throw you off your path, they're going to be sent to you for a reason. I'll use this as an example. Cause spirit be tempting me through like sex. Cause like I'll be honest, I'm not a sex addict or fiend, and I've never been one. But like when I've been in relationships, like I want to have sex all the time when I'm in a relationship with somebody. So there's this one specific person that I would always have sex with. Like we would break up and then get back together, and that would just be like the most. It was a toxic relationship. We was toxic for each other. Um, so when I was going through my process of saying I'm not having sex anymore until I'm with my one, like I will know who my one is because of a certain I have a certain standard, and if that person does not abide by that, that's how I know that they're not the one. So test the man's spirit, because a lot of men aren't gonna be able to do it. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, but it's not me like trying to trick anyone. It's me testing the character of a man to see if he could really do it. So I'll know for sure, like wholeheartedly and true heart, like they'll be able to do it. So I was like, I'm not gonna sleep with anybody anymore. I'm cutting it off. I'm done with sex. I'm just preserving my energy, releasing that energy of perversion, that spirit of perversion, and all of that. I'm clearing it out, doing my yoni steams and stuff, doing my spiritual baths, and I was cleansing. Like, um, I was bleeding out for like a few weeks. Like after I set that intention, after I did those cleansings, I was bleeding out for weeks, and I thought something was wrong with me, but I was clearing out all of that stuff, all of those energies that I had taken in. So that person came around, and he was like suggesting, and I almost like by the grace of God, it didn't work. It didn't happen. Like we set it up like, oh, we're going okay. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, blah blah, and all of that. It didn't happen. He didn't show up, which was good. I was kind of happy. Like naturally, I would have been like, oh well, f him, blah blah blah, and oh he stood me up, and like been all in my feelings. But like I was tested. I was tested, and that's the distractions, like to throw you off. You'll know like soon as you make a declaration or a stance to do better or to be better, that's when something comes to distract you. And a man or woman should not be having you wait for them for 10 years, 5 years, 3, like stringing you along with no title This person has no intentions on marrying you. They might have said, yeah, I'm going to marry you one day, but they have not even declared you as their girlfriend. They're hiding you from people. Sometimes people keep their relationships private for good reasons, but if he's still liking like pictures on social media of other women and still entertaining other people, like that's how you know. Like, you shouldn't question where you stand with the person that you're meant to be with. You should never have to do that. Never. So, these counterfeits, they gotta go. And if you're having a hard time cutting them off, even though you know you should, or you feel like you want to but you can't, you, I would say to not lean on your own strength. You have God to help you do that. Call on your spiritual team. Like, they ready, they're gunning for you. Like, they have your best intentions. And we all fall short. Like I said, I used to be a toxic girl. Like, I was jealous all the time. Like, oh, who is this bitch and blah blah blah. I was the needy, clingy, codependent, crying, discard my friends for somebody, completely switch up my identity just so the person would be with me or like me, doing things that I had no business doing for this person that I would never do. Cheating as well on my end. Like, I was a toxic person back in my day, like 18, 19, all the way up to like 23 years, 23 years old. I was toxic. I was also very wounded, also very, 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 very insecure. And I sought after men that fed into the ego. Like, they would compliment me, call me beautiful, call me this, oh you bad, and blah blah blah. Like, little stupid stuff that little girls like to hear. Like, when we don't get that validation always from our fathers to tell us that we're beautiful, that we're intelligent, to tell us that we deserve good love, or show us what good, good relationships are, we'll look towards those men that feed into the ego and talk about how big our ass is, or oh, you so sexy, you so bomb, and you're so this, or you're bad, and you're this. And it sounds good to the ego, to the wounds. It sounds good. Oh, even down to complimenting you in bed and all of that. It keeps you hooked. And then they'll feed you and then they'll leave you. Then you're like, well, where's my supply? Where did it go? Where is that supply that I needed? And then they come back, and then you feel good about it for a second or for a minute, and this person's not giving you anything. And in some cases, some of these counterfeits, they could be crushes. It might not even be the person's fault. Spirit's just using a tool to distract you. Not spirit, that lower vibrational spirit. The enemy uses these things to distract you. So a crush, you could be crushing on somebody so hard, and it's just not, nothing's happening. This person might not even be feeding you a bone, and because you want what you want, and you got to be careful with this dogma, this false manifest your reality stuff. And it's true, you can manifest your reality, but under what conditions? Like, where are you manifesting from? What place are you manifesting from? Are you manifesting from your ego, or are you manifesting from a place that is in alignment with your destiny or your fate? Although everything does play a role in your cycle of life, God is the beginning and the end. So God can see the beginning before you see it, and see your end before you can see it. But by trying to, like, bend somebody else's free will, which I've learned a hard lesson about on both ends, me trying to do that to people and people trying to do that to me, that's not normal. Like, you shouldn't even have to do all of that. Like, if it's for you, it's for you. So yeah, like, you can get attached to an ideal of a person so bad, like you want to be with somebody, you want to be with someone so bad that you'll constantly think about this person, and you may even start to see things that will tell you, like, oh yeah, like, this might be it, because you're constantly seeing signs of synchronicities. But you also have to discern and ask, like, am I manifesting this, or is this spirit saying something? Because the universe will speak in codes. God speaks to us through dreams, through numbers, through other people, through anything. So you have to ask God, okay, what does this mean? because I've jumped the gun so many times and thought that this was meant to be because I've seen a dude's name before. I've had two instances where two guys had the same middle name as me. Mine's a feminine version of their name, and I would immediately go like, "Oh, this must be meant to be." I even was dating one of them, and I stuck around so long because I thought God was showing me that they were my person, even though everything was like, "No, they're not." You got to ask Spirit, "Why am I seeing these signs of synchronicities? What does this mean?" Because sometimes it could be a warning, sometimes it could be something that this person is meant to show you at the time. It's not meant for us to jump the gun and be like, "Oh, this is that." And that's why you got to be careful with these twin flame stuff, because this twin flame stuff feeds into delusions. People that have mental illnesses as well, schizophrenia, like that spirit of schizophrenia and all of that, can create delusions and illusions in their mind. And like that's why you have celebrities that have stalkers. And I've had a lot of people like reach out to me asking about like celebrities and stuff. Is this my twin flame? And it's not that. I don't believe that a person, like a normal woman or man, can't be with or end up with a celebrity or whatever. It's not, because they're normal people at the end of the day. But a lot of times it's a lot of fantasy that we feed into it, and we feel a chemistry, we feel a connection, we might even feel a resonance of that person's soul with ours, and we'll start to see things. You have to be very careful and discerning with that. You have to. Gotta be careful with that. Um, yeah, gotta be careful with that. So any of that energy, those energies of delusions, I cut cords with that completely, and we dismantle that tonight. Wholeheartedly cut it off. That if God is telling you to pursue someone, if as a man, let's say as a man, if you're being guided to pursue a person, you will know that you're being led because the other person will be receptive to your pursuits. It's never going to be a person running from you. If you are a woman that is interested in a man, they're going to show equal interest in you too. They're not going to like string you along, and they're not going to run from you. Point blank, point period. And a lot of people, I do realize that some people are shy. Some people don't know how to, open up. Some people might be insecure. But hopefully those people, if they really truly are interested in a person that they want to pursue, that they'll overcome that fear and approach the person. But other than that, it's just back and forth. It's just games, or the person was never interested at all, and we're just chasing after what we want, even though all the signs tell us it's not that. You got to be real with yourself, and we're treating ourselves badly and doing a disservice to ourselves, because there is somebody that wants us wholeheartedly. Yes, you will have people that have no business trying to get at you, want you, but they don't truly want you. I'm talking about somebody that has in it within them to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. There is somebody for you. If you desire true authentic love, I guarantee you, like, God is not like pulling your leg. God is not dangling a carrot in front of your face and all of that. That's not that. God wants you to have that. That is something that it's ordained to happen. But you got to be receptive to what's for you. And if you're not, even if you're not sure, if a person's not for you, ask God for confirmation. And if you're not sure, you still don't know, let it go and let God handle the situation and live your life. Because at the end of the day, we don't know everything. Like, one man could be an asshole today, or one woman could be a dirtbag today, but completely be a new creature sometime. But you can't live your life stuck waiting for that to happen. That's not, you don't deserve that. So, like I said, I was a toxic person. I can admit that I was not always this. And I'm not even at a level, like, we be thinking we at a certain level that we're really not. Like, we always have to remain humble, because I might know something more than the next person does, but they may know something I don't know more than me, and the next, and such, and so on and so forth. So it's all about humbleness. That is the key. I don't know everything. I might know some things. I might know a lot in some areas, or I might know some things, but I don't know everything. So I definitely don't know every plan that God has for my life. what destiny is mapped out for me. But if something's not good for me, God is not going to have me sit in it and just dwell in it. We need to let go. Yes, you miss out on opportunities with people that actually could be good for you. People that actually want your true time, and friendships as well. This can apply to friendships. Some friendships can be counterfeits. It ain't just love. The enemy will send so many different types of traps and schemes and deceptions and distractions. Friendships too. Holding on to that homegirl, oh, because we had this time together, doesn't mean that you have to hate this person. You don't have to hate the exes. You don't have to hate the person that you were in love with. You don't have to hate the friends. You don't have to hate them. Forgive them, wish them well, and genuinely let them go. Because you can be blocking friendships, like, because some people don't know what true sisterhoods or brotherhoods are. Like, people are so used to the toxicity and being stuck and being comfortable in their shit. Some people be feeling like they got to put on a mask to fit in with their crowd. Like, you may have outgrown people, but because you're afraid of standing on your own, you'll put that mask on and to blend in and fit in where you excelling out of that. And who's to say that some of these people in your circle are not also looking for that level up, and you're hiding behind the mask because you don't want to look like the weirdo, or you don't want to be, casted out or called weird or called whack or whatever, lame or whatever. You might help somebody else. I guarantee you that. An ex-friend of mine, she was like toxic, like bad. Like, when we got together, we'd be getting into some stuff we had no business getting into. And God warned me several times about her. And so one of the times it was like a bad situation that it forced me to get away from her. And I had terrible dreams, nightmares and stuff that was like, okay, I can't do it. Because I went back to being her friend after all of that was said and done. I forgave her, or at least I thought I did, because I was still kind of mad about it. But I was like, this is my friend. I've known her since second grade. Let's be cool again. And I kept having these nightmares of something bad happening to me. And I said, okay, I got to get over my own desire of wanting to keep this friendship going, because I have a daughter. And that's the only reason why I broke ties with that friendship, because I had a daughter. So to this day, I still miss her. I do. I'll be like, oh, we used to laugh and like goof off. Like, we used to like have fun, and we had the toxicity. And she would be like, it was jealousy, it was competition and all that other toxic stuff. And she would talk about me, call me a weirdo because I would wear crystals in my bra. She was like, ain't no nigga, excuse me, that's what she said. She's like, ain't no N-word gonna want no girl wearing no crystals and no bra. You got crystals in your bra. He's gonna look at you like you weird. Like, she would just say stuff and make me like think I was weird, basically. But now, come to think about it, like, she would hit me up in the past and be like, can you read for me? I need your help. And that's how it is. But you can't be mean about it. You can't be like scuffing people off. And one of my exes even hit me up asking about some spiritual stuff. You can't be harsh. You can't be unforgiving. But just know when to set those healthy boundaries. If you loved the person, the love is not going to go in a place of hate. It's going to be, I got love for you, but I have boundaries. And I respect myself and I love myself. Point blank, point period. So these counterfeits, they have to go. The first thing I would say is to get down to the root of why you feel like you can't let go of this person. Is it fear? Is it an unhealthy attachment? Most times it is. It's a tie there, especially if you had sex with that person. It's a tie. But you can also have spiritual ties with people you've never physically met, through talking through the phone with somebody, through FaceTiming them or Skyping them or constantly texting them. You can form an emotional tie because we're spiritual beings. So our flesh may not have touched, but our spirits, have intermingled. So you got to get down to the root of what it is that's keeping you there, and ask spirit to cut cords with that. Yeah, and you gotta be careful online. Like, people can paint a picture of who they want you to believe they are, and vice versa. We could put on our best, act and be like, oh yeah, and da, 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 and they could be, and they got a whole wife at home. Like, you just never know. or just have a fake picture. Some people just fake pictures and stuff. Like, you just never know. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not judging anybody. This isn't me judging. I'm calling out the spirit of the being, not the person. I'm calling the spirit out. And if you can humble yourself enough to correct yourself, that's all is that God asks of us. That's all God asks of us. God is not going to condemn you and keep you, oh, remember you know, you slept with that guy. Remember you did this. Remember you lied to that girl and then you went ahead and slept with another one. Remember you did that. Like, God's never going to do that to you. Who does do that is the enemy, or that part of you that has not made peace or forgave yourself for what happened, or forgave a person for what happened. That's what that is. Like I said, God is a God of renewal. So once you come in and you say, God, I did this, this, and that. I'm not proud of it. I want to let it go. I want to forgive myself. I want to forgive the people that did it to me. Whatever the case may be, I just want to be free. I want to start fresh. I want to start over. I open myself to you to guide me, to lead me, to be in my life. God is going to be like, open arms. Like, I got you. I've been waiting. Like, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting for this moment. God's never going to be like, oh, yeah, you said that you was going to do this. And now, you know, remember that one time? Like, that's not how it works. And if people are doing that to you in your physical reality, they ain't your friends. They don't care about you if they constantly bring up the past. Oh, well. It's like a man that's like, yeah, I cheated. And then the woman's like, well, I'll forgive you. You know, let's leave the past in the past. But then every 5-second chance she gets, she'll be like, hey, remember that one time you slept with that girl? I don't know if I can trust you. I don't even know if I want to sleep with you because you did this and because you did like, and then the man is just like, really? Like, you said you forgave me and you let the past be in the past. Why are you bringing this up? Because you're not over it. So, yes, test the spirits. Most definitely. So, if you guys can see on the thumbnail, this scripture came to me too, and I was like, it makes sense. It's 2 Timothy 3:6. It says, for among them are those who enter into households and captivate weak women, weighed down with sins, led on by various impulses, aka their desires. So when these toxic people come into your life, they usually look for a place where they can come in and like sneak. So they'll try to get a place, they'll try to get you in a vulnerable state, like where you open up to them. The dragon. They'll get you to a vulnerable place to where you start talking about all your traumas and, oh yeah, my dad, he wasn't around, or my mom used to do this to me. She used to talk bad to me, and I've been raped before, or I dealt with a really bad relationship, and they'll be just like taking notes, like, oh, she got low self-esteem. Oh, okay. She don't have a good relationship with her father. Oh, okay. You live by yourself. Oh, okay. You got this much amount of money. Okay. And then they just slide in. Some people, some situations, they'll live in your house. They'll move in on you. I've had that happen before. I've had that happen before. They'll move in on you. Whether they literally move in your house or they move in on you in your life, and they just start to just take control. So you, just like they test your spirit, those spirits that work in them, those predator beings in them, that thievery energy, they're going to test your spirit too and see where you're at. Just like you need to be testing them and see who they are. Because people tell you who they are without speaking sometimes. That's why, and I'm going to quote the Bible, I don't care who don't like it. In the Bible it says to test the fruits. Test by their fruits, you will know them. Meaning by their character, by their behavior, you will know who they are, what type of person they are. People show you without even realizing they're doing it. They just do it. So showing your fruits could be just letting a person just, he didn't call you back without you saying, oh, I didn't like that you didn't call me back when you said you were going to. You just, it's okay. They'll be like, oh, She ain't got no boundaries. I won't call her next time. She won't get mad if I don't call her back. That's how it rolls. That's how people do. You have to discern that for yourself. Yes, sorry. How they treat others too. How do they talk about other people? What type of relationship patterns do they have? Have they healed from them, or are they like blaming everybody else for their problems? Yeah, I had this one chick, she was like this and da 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 da, and she was crazy and da da. Or yeah, I was with this guy and he would always do this. Well, sometimes people can be victimized, but we're just as guilty at some point when we just allow it to keep happening. Um, you gotta have boundaries at some point. Like at first, it's like shame on you, as they say. Second, third time, it's like shame on me because I knew better. You can't blame anybody after that. It's hard to break free from toxic people and narcissistic people if you've been raised by narcissistic people too. That's a hard thing for a lot of us to break up. But there's no excuse for people like that. There's no excuse. So when you see something, from now on, when you see something just to protect your own well-being, be like, nah, I'm good. Because we've all fallen short before, and we fall short in other ways every day. Nobody's perfect on this earth. I don't care who you are. You could talk about how you're this and how much, like all that, as my sister says, that's suchy much energy, like thinking you suchy much. We all fall short every day. No one on this earth is perfect. No one. What is commendable and what is asked of us is that we stay in alignment with what's our highest good, and we strive to be our best. We strive to be our best. We strive to be a good person, not for the sake of getting praise from other people or to look like a good person to other people, but for the sake of who we got to answer to when we dip out of here. That's all it's for at the end of the day. Like, and I can commend a person that can admit, like, yeah, I was an asshole, I was a dirtbag, yeah, I was I was a little fast one, but I seen the error in my ways. I'm working on myself. I have been working. I've healed from that. I'm no longer like that. I admit that that was wrong. Like, I can commend people like that. I can't commend people that blame everybody, or people that think that they don't have to do any work, that they're perfect, they've mastered life. Oh, I'm perfect, I'm this, I'm that. Like, that's not, it's fake. Yes. Oh, I appreciate you, Star. You calling out those spirits too. Spirit of pridefulness is a real thing, and the arrogant spirit, self-centered spirit, that's Jezebel actually. The Jezebel spirit likes to be seen. Um, it's yeah, and men can have that spirit too. By the way, straight men can have that spirit. It's not like only like women or gay men. Um, that spirit of enchantment and seductress energy and look at me and I'm better than everybody. It's Jezebel. So we've all been there. We're not perfect. I still deal with that demon of self-rejection. I still deal with that spirit of condemning. I still deal with that. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But again, like through our works, as long as we're like really working on ourselves and we truly, authentically want to be good people for ourselves and for our creator, and next in line is other people. Do unto others as you would want to be done to yourself. And that's real. I'm not proud of things that I've done to people. I'm not proud of things that I've said to people. But I had to forgive myself, and I had to forgive people that also said things, because who's to say that they didn't feel bad, or they weren't going through something. Or who's to say that they don't regret what they've done or said to me in the past? We have to let it go. That spirit of unforgiveness, you can't be in a healthy relationship with that either, because your heart's not right. That spirit of unforgiveness will block a lot of things. Trust me. So now that we got the counterfeit energy out of the way, we're going to like get into we're gonna get into the energy of the good shit that's, excuse me, the good energy that wants to come in. We're gonna talk about that. I've been like led to Ruth, and it's a famous story in the Bible, a love story in the Bible, next to Adam and Eve and Esther and all of that. They talk about Ruth and Boaz. That's everybody's favorite when it comes to love. But so many people like kind of gloss over the like in depth of what the story of Ruth is really like about, at least how spirit revealed it to me. At first I was like, this resonates with my story because like a few years ago I had made a decision to take a family member in that was going through it. I was like, you could stay with me till you get on your feet and blah blah blah. I'll get a place for us and such, blah blah blah. And I'm like, this sounds a lot like my story, because Ruth left with her mother-in-law, Naomi, to her homeland after their husbands died in the war. So Ruth was like, you know, I'm going to leave with you. Your people will become my people. Your faith will become my faith. Your God will become my God, and so on and so forth. I'm going to stay with you. And she was telling all the young women, like, no, you guys have so much more youth. Go home, go back to your families, blah, blah, blah. I'll be okay. She was bitter. But Ruth was like, no, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to leave with you. And I feel like that was a symbol of choosing to follow the divine, that choosing to align yourself with God's will for your life by leaving the old ways behind, by leaving the past, the so-called territory and world or reality that you knew. You're leaving that behind. You're sacrificing that. I feel like that's what Naomi represents in that story. And then Ruth's husband dying in the war, I feel like that symbolizes letting go of old relationships that are tired and wasted, or just letting go of things that you once were devoted for that are dead. They don't serve you anymore. Because I've been getting the message that some of you, like, it's something with the workplace. And I've been hearing this for 4 years. I had, it was a reader friend of mine. She was a woman from India that I was cool with. And she said a long time ago, it was a video that she did. She said that she was into the twin flame stuff. She said that, yes, unconditional love and loyalty. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. She was saying that the twin, whatever, the divine masculine was going to be drawn to the feminine's work. And that could mean multiple things. One, it could be literally something with the workplace that connects you and your divine masculine, or your one. Let's say that. We're not going to get into the labels, but your person, right? The man for you. Let's say Boaz, right? You, the Ruth. Whether you're male or female, take what applies to you. Or it could mean that they're drawn to your works, your character, the work that you've done on yourself, the improvements on you. So I'm going to like break down some of the scripture in the way that God was giving it to me, so that you guys can get an understanding. And spirit kept dry, like, I just, like, when I would like open my Bible, I'd be like, what do you want me to know today? Why would Ruth 3 always pop up? I'd be so annoyed. I'm like, why does this keep popping up? Like, I ain't asking about that. I don't want to know about love. Like, spirit, I'm good. I don't want to hear about this. What message you have for me today? And I would just turn a page in the Bible, and it would turn to Ruth. And I'd be like, I don't want to hear about it. I'm done. I'm good. I don't want to hear about love right now. So I had to get out my ego. And the scriptures that stood out to me the most, because I had asked a specific question, and Ruth 3:3 through, what was it, 3 through 5. And I'm going to break it down in the way that it spoke to me. So first off, the story of, before I even get into that part of Ruth, the story that the part of the story that also stood out to me was that confirmed what Spirit was putting into my spirit when it came to where people are at on their love journey. It spoke to me. So I'm going to read it to you. And things that Spirit's revealed to me and things I've been journaling, like, because I was fasting. It was, when was this? August. I fasted August 27th. I know I documented it. I fasted August 27th. And then God revealed something to me. And I wrote it down. I didn't think too much about it. I didn't overhype it, nothing. I just wrote it down. And later, I've been getting the same messages. It just aligns with what I've been getting. So, let's see. So, the part that stood out to me was when Ruth was working in the fields. She was working, and she was doing her work. And I feel like this represents doing your work on self. So, where is it? I'm trying to find it because I put it in my notes. So, yeah. Ruth 2 and 5 through 6 basically was talking about he recognized, like, he's seen her in the fields, and he was like, who is this, like, who is this worker, who is this woman, who is this woman that's working in the fields, basically. So he took notice of her and her works. So when you're focusing on, like, focusing on renewing yourself, you're following divine instructions and guidance, you're just focused, it's just you and God, you're focusing on the divine power, doing your inner work. This person is going to see that, and they're going to keep their eye on you. They're going to watch you. Some of you, it's already happened. Like, it's already happening. And when it's time for that person, they're going to see you, and they're going to make that judgment that you are theirs. So, like, by your works, by your character. And Boaz already has a character of an honorable person, of a humble person, a man of means, a man of respect and honor. Because a part of what I noticed too, when he walked in, seeing her, like, doing her work or whatever, he was watching her do her work, and he greeted the people. The people were like, be blessed, and he was like, be blessed to you as well. So he greets people. He's humble. He's not an asshole, like, doesn't know how to speak to people when he comes into a room. You know what I mean? It's not like that. So the part that stood out to me, it was Ruth 2 and 8, I believe. And he says, my daughter is he said something about my daughter. Where is it? I'm going to find it. Y'all probably like, girl, we don't want to hear about this Bible, and I don't care. He said to her, you will listen, my daughter, will you not? Do not glean in another field. So he was like, listen. The fact that he called her daughter, I feel like he recognized that that energy of being one with God, being in that place of divine submission, spiritual submission. But it also could be a form of him, like, seeing her as an innocent, if that makes sense. So he told her to stay close to the other young women here. And then he told the other men, he said, I have made sure, or I've commanded that the young men not touch you. So the young men here are not to, like, mess with you, disrespect you. So for one, he already laid down, like, it's not possessiveness or jealousy. It was like, you stay over here with the young women, stay over here, and the men, I told them not to, like, mess with you, basically. And then she, asked him, why does she see such favor? And, like, why do you see as much favor in me? And that's in 2 through 10. So it says, she asked, why have you found favor in me? For I am just a foreigner. And I feel like what she meant by foreigner can mean many things, from the fact that she's not of his country, because remember, she left her country or her world to be with Naomi in their tribe and their faith, their beliefs. But it can also represent that I'm a foreigner. I'm not like the other women. I'm just like kind of weird, or I'm different, or the women of the world, or the women of society, or the women in this environment, why would you see favor in my eyes? And his reply to her was that in 11, he said, I've heard of you leaving all that you've known, basically. Like, you've left everything that you've known. You've left your family. And I've heard that your husband died, and you left to be with your mother-in-law and come to a strange land and to take on another faith, basically. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but um, he said, it has been fully reported to me that all that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how that you left your father and mother in the land of your birth, and have come to a people whom you do not know before. So basically, seeing that she gave up that part of her life and that part of herself. So to me, that represented her dying to herself, her old ways, leaving the old ways behind, letting go of, who knows, relationship patterns, letting go of a specific type of man, and trusting and following the divine, following God. So a real man is going to commend you for your faith, going to commend you for your devotion, your loyalty, and your humbleness. He's not going to allow you to compromise your morals or who you are, and he's not going to try to sway you or even cause you to disrupt your journey in any way. He adds to your journey, if anything. He's not going to disrupt that. You know what I mean? So, and now I'm going to get to the part that Spirit keeps telling me to read. Because in my slowness, because I'm not really like, I'm not a Bible genius by any means. But I was like, what does she mean by the threshing floor? Is that a club? Is that like a bar or something? I didn't know what it meant. But anyway, so I'm going to read Ruth 3 and 3 through 5. So it says, this is her mother-in-law speaking to her. Her mother-in-law says, wash yourself, put on perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know that you're there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying, and then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do. And then 5 says, I will do whatever you say. And that's Ruth speaking to her. She said, I will do whatever you say. So Spirit's going to guide you through your process of preparation to even align yourself with that man, or that one, right? Spirit's going to position you and prepare you. So I broke down that part of the scripture. Again, I feel like Naomi, the mother-in-law, is a parable for God, which represents Ruth's sacrifice to choose following the divine. And when I speak of God, I'm not speaking of a religious God. I'm speaking of all that is. Okay? Speaking of all that is. So, she listens to the instructions. So the part that says wash yourself, where it says wash yourself clean. So cleansing yourself. To cleanse yourself is to do the internal work. To cleanse your temple, cleanse your body clear of certain things. When she said to put on the perfumes, in some scriptures it's oils. It's listed as oils rather than perfumes. I think they modernized the scripture, but oils. Oils in the Bible are usually meant, represent anointing. They use it for sacred ceremonies and spaces and temples. So to anoint yourself, to make yourself a place of sacredness. So you're cleansing yourself of all those old energies, that toxicity, to make yourself of a sacred space, a sacred being, right? When she says put on your best clothes, I feel like that clothes represents our character, represents ourselves, how we express ourselves, what we're dressed in, how we're cloaked. So that represents us as a person. So put on your best clothes, be your best. And that could be in a modern sense as well, like to start, taking care of yourself more and care more about your appearance, but not in a vain sense, because you got to do the inner work first, right? So, and then it says, but not make yourself known to him. The part where she says, but not make yourself known to him until he has eaten or drinking. So it says, to pursue him until he's full and whole. So not to push divine timing, not push before this person is ready. You must be ready and they too must be ready. So until he has eaten and drinking, meaning until he is of fullness. And it also, in one of the parts of the scripture, it says like when he is cheerful after he has eaten, like he's full, he's happy, he's joyful, he's of cheer, right? So that means a person that is full and content and happy within themselves, right? So do not make yourself known to him before it's time. A lot of women be trying to convince men like, hey, I'm the one, or I'm your twin flame stuff. And it clearly says do not do that. And a lot of people already say women should not be pursuing men. There is some exceptions to the rules at times. It's all about what you're led to do. But a lot of women, they put themselves in these positions of chasing after a man, and that's not how it should go. You know, every now and then it's cool to let a man know you're interested. That's different. Be like, oh, you know, hey, you look good, blah, blah, blah. But you're in pursuit of a man. A woman should not be pursuing, like, in a pursuit of a man, if that makes sense. Interest, letting a man know that you're interested in all that, that's different from pursuing. It's a different type of situation. So she says, go after he has finished drinking and eating, which again, until he is full and whole within. He was obviously finishing up his work. So part of the scripture, he was finishing up what he was doing, and then he sat down, he ate, and he had a drink. So he was doing his work. Like, it's telling you, like, he was doing his work. And then it says, lie down at his feet. That part, I took that lying down at his feet as a form of submission and humbleness to your mate, to your husband. Not submission in like how some cultures beat their women and beat their wives and stuff. That's not what I mean, but of humbleness, like listening to your husband's wise counsel and taking in what he has to say. Like, we've been taught to be snapping our neck. Oh, I ain't doing that. I don't know who told you that I'm going to be, I'm a bad bitch. I get my own money. Like, it's not that. And some men are not even worth submitting to. So I'm not saying to submit to some dummy. Like, you got to be able to trust and be under the wing of a man that is also in alignment with God. He has to have his own personal relationship with God to even be honorable of a person to even be with you. A lawless man is not somebody that you should be submitting to, period. Because Boaz already revealed himself to be of a good character. So that's a whole nother topic, right? But anyway, so they speak of the threshing floor. The threshing floor, like I said, at first when I read this and when I heard it, I'm like, does this mean the bar, the club? but But the threshing floor represents, it's a place where the process of harvesting grain takes place. And aren't we in the harvest season? Like, isn't fall season harvest season, if I'm not mistaken? That's ironic. But anyway, so the threshing floor is a place where you harvest grain and you separate the grain from the chaff, right? Which is the flesh and the spirit. That's how I took it. When you separate the grain from the chaff, it's like separating the flesh from the spirit. The threshing floor is also certain parts in the Bible use the threshing floor symbolically to represent divine judgment. One of the scriptures is Hosea, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, 13:3, that talks about the divine judgment. So her going to the threshing floor was a place of divine judgment, separating her flesh from her spirit. Boaz separating his flesh from his spirit, because they could have easily slept together, right? In this day and age, I just ate, I just drank, I'm feeling good. I'm laying up with this person. It easily can go down, right? You can easily get in your flesh and be like, oh, well, I might as well just get it in, right? No, that didn't happen. And by her laying at his feet was being at a place of humbleness and submission and respect. That's what I took from that. He wakes up and he's like, who are you? Because he just wakes up. He doesn't know who's laying at his feet. And this is Ruth 3:7-11. He wakes up and asks, who are you? Which can represent him awakening to the fact that this is his wife, that she is virtuous through her character. She has shown her good deeds through her faith, through her loyalty to her mother-in-law, aka the divine God, the Holy Spirit, which caught his eye from the start anyway. So that part stood out. And the part also stood out to me when she said, I am your maid servant. Take me under your wing. meaning that is a form of wifely submission. Be under their wing, them being the head, them being the leader, right? That's how I took that. And then he says something about he said, stay the night, and in the morning it shall be that if he will perform the duty of a close relative for you. So he mentioned something about a close relative, and I'm trying to find the scripture. I think I skipped it. Take me under your wing, for you are a close relative. So she told him that he's a close relative to her, meaning they're of the same tribe. Not so much so, I'm not getting that it was like blood related. I'm getting close relative, meaning they're of the same tribe, the same people, the same faith, same spirit, right? And then she stayed till the morning with him, and he ordered his men not to tell anyone that she was there. So he protected her. He wasn't going around talking about, oh, yeah, I guess Ruth, she slept with me. Blah. Like, he kept it private. He kept it hidden that they spent that intimate night together. They didn't do anything from what this says. But jumping back up, the part where she says, I am Ruth, when he asked her, who are you? She said, I am Ruth, your maiden servant. Take your maiden servant under your wing, for you are a close relative. And then he says to her, blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter. Daughter, again, recognizing her in her spirit. It's like a form, I feel like a innocence, but also recognizing the fact that she belongs to the divine, respecting that part of her, but also it's a form of protection. And then he says, for you have shown more kindness at the end than at the beginning, in that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich. So he sees her as like she's not after what he has, because he is wealthy. He is wealthy. She was already shown her character when she decided to honor her mother-in-law, go in and do the work. And he noticed her good character through her works. And he asked his people, he was like, who is she? Like, who is that? And like, oh, that's so-and-so's daughter-in-law. She came here from such and such and that. And he's interested. He's like, oh, okay, I'm going to watch her. So he already seen the virtuous side, that who she was. From beginning to the end, as he said, you already had that good character. And he said, and now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you request, and for all the people of my town know that you are a virtuous woman. So whatever you ask of me, because you're trustworthy, I trust you, I see your character, I know who you are. Not only that, I'm going to let everybody know that this woman right here is virtuous. That's like, again, a man could like saying, this is my person, this is my woman. Like, there's no need to be hiding you. You're not going to make excuses about you. That's not how it works. So again, like, when you're focusing on you and your work and renewing yourself in your fellowship with the divine, with God, renewing yourself, having that personal relationship with your creator, because a lot of people have been following their own will and it has not worked for you. You've been trying to make something work out of your own mere strength and going after things that you know are not for your highest good, when Spirit is saying, just let that go and let me guide you. That's all that's asked. And before you can even step forth in that position, you got to be of good works. A good man's not going to see a woman if she's still clinging on to Tyrone. And I don't mean no disrespect if somebody's name is Tyrone, but they're not gonna be they're not gonna be leaning like, how is he gonna find you? And if you're still like feeling like you're not good enough, and you're still trying to control your life and follow after this or this person, and saying to yourself, this is good as get, you're never gonna find that man that's gonna see you and be like, I want that. I see that character, I see what type of woman you are, the type of person you are, and I respect that. They're not going to be jealous, like, oh, you lame, you whack. And I've had that before. I had somebody that would, like, call me out in so many ways, and I changed a lot about myself I turned myself into this bad bitch, which I failed miserably because that's not me. That's not my character. I'm not supposed to be out here twerking and shaking my ass and wearing weave down to my ass and wearing all this extra makeup and stuff. That's not my character. It's not who I am. But I tried to do that. I tried to be um, what that person wanted me to be because he told me that I was whack, I was lame, and all of this stuff, bragging about these types of women that he dated. He was into like porno stars and all that stuff. And it just made me feel like, okay, well, why are you with me if I'm nothing like that, right? Nothing like those types of women. And I'm not shunning those type of women out either because some of them are, um, some of them have wounds and some of them may have a completely different side that we don't see based off of, just what they show you through their entertainment. So I'm not judging those types, but um, the sexual exploitation and all of that is what I'm talking about. So a person's going to respect your path and who you are under the divine's wing. They're not going to steer you to be someone you're not. They're going to respect you as you are. And the person that's also meant for you, is going to add to you. This is a man that already had his own. He was already wealthy in his land. Everybody knew who Boaz was. So they knew him to be wealthy, and when I say wealthy, it doesn't have to be financially wealthy. Yes, he it could also represent his harvest and what he had. But I also take that as he was wealthy in spirit. He was someone that was deemed worthy of respect. He was honorable. It's not wealthy, oh, I got this, I got that, I got money, I got cars, I got all the hoes and all that. Like, that's not wealth to me. That's not true wealth. Maybe in the world's eyes or society's eyes it is, but that doesn't really capture a woman's heart in essence. A woman of true soul and of true heart, that's not going to capture their attention. It's not going to mean a lot to them. So him saying that you showed your humbleness and your faithfulness and your kindness from the beginning, and you didn't go after men that were either rich nor poor. You didn't go after nobody. You focus on doing you. So I feel like what Spirit is saying with this is that your best point right now, your only thing right now is to get yourself in alignment between you and Spirit. You have to make that choice, I feel, or at least you're being encouraged to make that choice, whether you're going to fully submit to the divine power and their will for your life, because following after this and that is not working for you, and it's okay to admit that. Most importantly, not only that, the work that you do on yourself also plays a role in the type of men that you attract. Just like the dogs, they're gonna sniff the goods out too, but a man of quality is gonna show his self-worth. So when we say like, oh, there's no good men out there and blah blah blah, or I'm never gonna find a good man, I always attract dogs, that's not true. You have to make yourself available to those types of men. And some people think that good man is like whack, or they're gonna be lame, or they're not gonna be attracted to them. Like, Spirit's not gonna set you up. I guarantee you Boaz was fine. I guarantee you. I don't think he was like something that Ruth was not interested in. I doubt that. I highly doubt it. So Spirit's not gonna play you. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have an attractive mate and stuff like that. The thing sometimes may be that they may not be your usual type. You may be into men that are dark skinned, or men that are light skinned, or men only Caucasian men, or some men only want this type of woman built like this, and your one may not be like that, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to find them handsome or you're not going to find them beautiful. It just may be something that you did not look for. Sometimes that's how Spirit works. Spirit is not going to be like, oh, I know, you want somebody that you're going to be attracted with, but no, I'm going to give you a point, Dexter. Good luck with that. Have fun. Like, Spirit ain't going to do that to you. And not all good men are for you. Like, that's another thing we have to use our discernment. Like, just because a good man approaches you doesn't mean that that's your one. You still have to use discernment even with that, if that's your person. Because there's plenty of good men and women out there, but that doesn't mean we all are just supposed to be together. So I don't even know if I need to pull cards. I think Spirit, yeah, like I was led to just do it like this. I had cards, but I don't feel like I need them. And I hope that you guys are full, spiritually full. Like you got what you needed. Like you don't need to like have the cards all the time. I know it's interesting, it's fun, and it's practical because it's like, okay, you can see the images, you can see what's going on, but um I feel like Spirit's testing our faith, and I trust God enough to know that Spirit is speaking through confirmations and what to say and what to share. A sexy point, Dex. Yeah. Like Spirit's not gonna like cheat you. I've seen so many testimonies and stories of couples that have, and even law of attraction, like let's use it on both spectrums, because people when they hear the word God or Jesus they cringe, just like, oh God, here comes the, but that's because like people have been so indoctrined by religion that they don't know what like the difference between a true relationship with God is versus what religion has taught us. Even when we read the Bible, people don't know how to like read it for themselves in a way that speaks to their situation, speaks to them. People have been taught that the Bible is to condemn, and God is not a God of condemnation. So it doesn't even go together. It doesn't even make sense. But forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, so I feel like God is making it very clear through like relationships and testimonies that I've seen where people said when they just let go, that's when God brought them their person. Or people that say law of attraction, when they just let go of their desire, they left it up to the universe. That's when it unfolded for them. That's how it's supposed to be. Like we'll test, like let's use the I lost my keys theory. How many people have lost their keys or lost some type of item, and as soon as they forgot about it or they said fuck it, I'm not gonna look for it anymore, or I'll just wear a different t-shirt, that's when they find it. As soon as they let it go, they give up. Not give up, but like let it go. That's a lot of testimonies will tell you that, not based off of their own strength, like I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna force this until it happens. Like that's not how it works. And it happens so beautifully. Some people be like, oh my God, like they have beautiful testimonies because they allowed the universe, if you want to, if that makes you feel cushy and comfortable, but they allowed God to make it happen. They allowed like to bring, and it happened so miraculously because through our own human like strength and comprehension, we be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the club, and if I stand over here he'll notice me. Like we got to do stuff like that. Or oh, I'm gonna post this in hopes that they'll see it, or I'm gonna do this in hopes that they'll, rather than allowing Spirit to bring something to you miraculously and so divine and seamlessly, is way more better than forcing your hand at it. Just, yeah, just let it go. And I always bring this up because I love this testimony. Like my sis, like she gives me hope through her testimony. I read for her and I told her, boo, this is not the guy for you. This guy that she was like swear up and down like that was it. She didn't know how to let it go. She said she got fed up and she let everything go. And she said, I did what you said and I just focused on me. And she said she had a mantra that she would always repeat: if I'm here, then my one is here. They exist. If I exist, then he exists. So she just let everything go. And not even a year later, like she said, months later, matter of fact, she met her husband online. And she said that was something she would never do. The site that she went, I'm not going to say what it was, but I wouldn't go on there looking for nothing. But she found her husband on there. So, hey, you got to trust God. And that's another thing. When Naomi told Ruth to clean herself, take a bath, take a shower, whatever, put on some nice perfume or whatever, anoint yourself, get yourself dressed, put your best clothes on, and go to the threshing floor. Like, go out. When Spirit tells you, you'll know when it's time for you to go forth and go out. When you go out, that person's going to find you. And the threshing floor where Ruth met Boaz, or where she met up with him, the threshing floor is a place of judgment. Again, remember, it's a place of harvest of grain and separating the grain from the chaff. So separating of this, the spirit and the flesh. So when you come out and you're ready to like meet your person, you're going to have to know how to discern how to separate your spirit from your flesh, and a person that also knows how to do that. That's how you discern that this person is deemed worthy. A lot of you already got, people already got their eye on you. I don't even feel like it's one person. I feel like you already have people that have their eye on you. They're already watching you, whether they be of good character or they, you know, slobbery dogs. They're watching. And if not, it's happening. And it's because of your works. It's because of the work that you've done on yourself. It's because of your character that's going to attract the right person to you. So know the difference between a counterfeit and between a person of worth and value that's going to add to you, not take away from you. That is not love. We've been taught that. Like I said, it's common for people to be in toxic relationships. I'm speaking to the women, but if this resonates for men too, take it. And if you feel like you're a dirtbag, it's nothing wrong. Like, if you admit that to yourself and you're ready, you want to correct yourself, you want to be better for yourself, we always have time to do that. Or at least now we do. I can't say for how long, but we have time. As long as we're here on this earth, get yourself right. Get yourself right. It's not to say like we can never be better people. We've all fallen short and still do. So this isn't trying to like come at anybody personally. I'm coming at the spirit of things. That's what I'm after. That is what I'm after. Not to come on here and hurt people, but those spirits, that's what I'm after. To dismantle those and release them. So if you feel like you know, you haven't been such a good person to a man or woman, you have a chance to get right with yourself and ask spirits to help you heal. We all do. So, yeah. I hope that resonated. I did not mean to be on here like this long. I always like go on a tangent, and I know that some people don't want to hear it, and it's okay. Like, if you guys get upset by me talking about God, then get off my channel. It is what it is. Like, I know what God means to me and my relationship building with God, and that God is a God of love, not a God of confusion, not a God of sorrow and pain, not a God of deception and toxicity. And it might not even be the fact that I said anything about God. Some people probably just don't want to be called out on their bullshit. Some people are not ready to let go of what doesn't serve them. And I'm not for everybody. I don't want everybody watching my channel. Like, I don't want too many eyes on my channel, especially if you don't have any good energy to add to it. You're not here for the right reasons. I don't want you on my channel anyway. Just because somebody feels convicted and they're not ready to face the truth about themselves or a situation, I'm not here to call on nobody. I'm not a respecter of people. I'm a respecter of God and obedience to God. So those spirits that don't like what I'm saying, I could care less. I could care less. I'm not here to get a subscription. I'm not here to get people's praise and comment, oh, I love what you just said. Oh, that's so true. Keep me in my delusion. I'm not here to do that. I'm not about to feed into all this other stuff on YouTube to make you feel good at the end of the day. If it's something that's not right, I'm going to say it. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate. Keep it moving. Your thumbs downs and all of that is just letting me know that what I'm saying is probably striking a nerve for some people. I had somebody attack me after I made a reading. It was a reading I did. And it wasn't even like bad. I wasn't saying anything bad. What I was saying was things that were being healed and what was being released. And it resonated with that person, and they were mad at me. And they cussed me out. And like, well, first off, it was a general reading. I wasn't even specifically talking to one person. It was general. But that just shows me that you didn't like what I said. You were triggered by what came out. You're not ready to face what's true. Because the message was actually a good message. It was person that was thriving, a person that is healing from those things that happened to them in their childhood. But the wounds are so deep, and those demons don't want to come off or come out of a person. They're not ready. They're still feeding off of a person. They're not going to want to hear that. Only a demon operates in hate. To get cussed out off of a reading that I did, it made no sense to even be cussed out, like, at all. Like, it had no, like, that wasn't something. If I would have been, like, saying something hateful, let's say about a racial group or something, or saying that all race, like, this race of people are bad, and so, like, hateful stuff. But motivating people and exposing things that needed healing got me cussed out. Those demons. I'm not playing no games. I'm not on here to appease anybody. I'm not here for that. I could care less about your subscriptions. Could care less. And your views. I'm not here to enchant y'all into liking me, subscribing, feeding into y'all little fantasies, what you want to hear. Not dick riding. Not doing that. Not doing it. I've lost probably since I did, it was a reading that I did, or message, exposing that twin flame cult stuff. I lost probably 70 subscribers so far. Probably. I can probably just around that amount. I've lost subscribers. I used to care about stuff like that. Like, it used to make me feel bad. But Spirit, God is clearing house. God is clearing house off of people that it's just, okay, it's time for you to go. You don't resonate or made you upset? Cool. It's not for you. But don't look for me to be like everybody else. When I come on here to do a live or a message, I might not pull cards. I might just let Spirit just speak clearly through me without any divination tool. I might read my Bible. Hey, I'm doing what I'm guided to do. Period. So don't expect me to be like the next reader. I'm not going to be on here doing pick a card readings every day, every 5 minutes, reading on how somebody feels about you every day. I'm not doing that. It's not what I came here for. I came to do spiritual work. Spiritual warfare is real, and that's what I'm here for. And I'm on the side of God that says, I have the best for you. I have a new beginning for you. I have plans for your future, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. I'm not here to keep people in a delusion. I'm not a cult. I'm not going to follow the cult of what everybody else is doing. And no shade to anybody specifically, but a lot of it is bullshit. A lot of it's bullshit. A lot of it is like, some people don't even know that they're just in a loop. The same messages, the same story, the same readings. Like, some people don't even recognize that they're doing that. If you're still stuck on somebody from 2012 that you claim is your twin flame, or this person is your twin flame and they have not made any moves to claim you or be with you, you're wasting your time. And any reader that's still feeding into that, you might want to question what you're watching. I'm not here to tell anybody to stay with anyone. I have to be careful of that too. I'll read a message. If the person loves you and they love you, I'll say it. And I'll also tell you what else I'm seeing. It's up to you to discern what that message is and what to do with it. I will never condone anybody staying in a relationship with someone. But you got to use your discernment when you just sit down and you just watch a message, even watching my messages, because things I'm saying may not be for you, may not be your season to hear what you're hearing, or it just simply may not be for you at all. So, yeah, when I come on here out of love, because I can get a little, a little radical at times, a little, can come across as like I'm being harsh, but um, I'm just direct. And I do everything out of love. I really do. I want people to heal. I want for people to live a happy life, be healthy, and mainly to find the love of their life that truly loves them. It really hurts me when I get certain types of people like asking me to read on certain things, and I just be like, honey, like, you don't see it? Like, I don't even need to read on this. Like, you don't see it. Like, it really bothers me, but I have to understand, and I also have to have compassion and patience with people, and let them live their life. I'll give them the message as Spirit gives it to me, but I have to allow them to walk their own path and use their own discernment, because I was in the same positions too, and I had people tell me this isn't good for you, but I wanted what I wanted. So I can't be upset with anybody that's, in that situation or in that boat. But I will call out the spirit. I'm not playing with that. Not playing with that. If I see it something spiritually that I don't like, something that God is exposing, I'm going to speak on it. And it's no shade or disrespect to the persons, but whatever is like working, going on behind the scenes spiritually, I'm going to speak on it. And a lot of people, you guys are dealing with men or women that are spiritually sent to destroy you, throw you off your path, make you believe that you're not lovable and you're not worthy, that you'll never have anything, that you'll never be anything, that you can't get anything better than what they have to provide. And that is a lie. Some people are lying to themselves, telling them that this is the only person and this is all that there will ever be, and there's nothing feeding that for them. But the delusion wants that. That is a lie also. You deserve to be in a relationship where someone is available to you. If you're chasing after unavailable and unavailable men, what is it within you that's not available? What is it within you that is shut off, closed off, that is receptible to that type of energy? God has something for everybody. God is not going to put you in a position to be chasing after something or someone, or to be waiting for someone to figure it out. A man or woman knows what they want when they see it. They know what they want. And if you really want something, you don't want to lose it, right? When you want to take something as your own, you don't want to lose it, and you're not going to jeopardize it. You're not going to, when you find something precious, like people um, hold their cars and their money and their purses and their jewelry as possessions and precious things, they will never, ever, ever, ever drop their bag on the floor, leave it out for somebody else to get it, um, scratch their car, and just be like, oh, well, I scratched my car. I'll focus on it later. I'll fix it later. Like, people put more pride into their possessions than they do people and relationships with people. But I'm using that as an example because a lot of people are being handled um, as trash when they should be treated as precious jewels. Like, when you hear that metaphor, precious jewels, it's precious because it's sacred. A person will put it, hide it in a nice box, put it somewhere, lock it up, and hide it and keep it for safekeeping. That's how love should be. It shouldn't be something where you're being tossed around like a basketball, or just laid out like a piece of dead meat in the street. And that's a lot of what we settle for sometimes. Or I want someone to love me so bad that I'll settle for this, I'll wait around for this, I'll hope that this person gets it, or they see me, and it's just like, why? Why? And then the hard stuff, the hard point comes when you ask yourself, why do I want this? And then it hurts because it's just like, ow, now I got to deal with what happened to me in my childhood. I don't want to deal with that. Let me go get another fix and go get another man or woman to make me feel good for now, if they can even live up to it. Because the truth is they won't be able to do that. No one can fill up what is void within yourself but you and your creator. You have to be full within. That's why people are not happy with just having material possessions. They're not really happy. It's to fill a void, but they're doing it outside of themselves. They're not seeking within self to find what will fulfill them. No man or woman, and this is when I speak of a good man coming into your life, they're not going to be the fix to what's avoiding you. That's why I'm also saying to spend time with your creator and spend time with yourself, filling yourself up and healing yourself. You're not going to find what you're looking for in another man, another woman. You're not going to find it in a career job. You're not going to find it in sex, drugs, cars, and money, weaves, bags, shoes. You're not going to find it in none of that. You're not going to find it there. Social media likes. How many people are liking your pictures, or how many followers or subscribers you have, or how many people like you. You're not going to find fulfillment in that. You never will. Because the reason why is because you're a spiritual being first, and when you leave out of here, you're not going to take none of that with you. Your husband's not coming with you. Your wife's not coming with you. Your kids are not coming with you. Your car, your money, your Birkin bags, your followers, they're not coming with you. None of that stuff is going to fulfill you spiritually. They will fulfill you to some extent, but they're not the fix. That missing piece, you know how people say, we're co-creators. We come from the image of God. So what does that mean? That means you're a remnant of that source, right? So we forget to add source into our life. We seek everything but our source. But we want our source to bless us. We want our source to manifest for us. So that's all for tonight, y'all. I hope that resonates. I hope that helps somebody. So much love, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. I will do a pick a card reading for you guys soon. So you guys will see cards, and I do dailies as well. So if you guys follow me on my Instagram, you guys will see that I have some daily card pulls that I do. But I wasn't planning for it to go this way. I was on here. I knew I was going to share the message that Spirit gave to me. And then I was like, okay, I had cards. I did. Look, I had cards out. I was going to use these Edgar Allan Poe cards and the Haunted House cards. I was going to do that. But it's not needed. Spirit got the message out that they needed to get out. So much love as always, you guys. This was a long message, long video, but it will, be for someone that it's meant for. So as always, much love. You guys have a good night, good day, whenever you're watching this. And I'll catch you in the next reading or next video. Peace.